we have a lot of foreign actors trying to collect intelligence on the UK. There's a kind of top tier of actors, which are China, Russia, Iran, and to a much lesser extent, North Korea. But there will be other lesser powers as well that are now trying to do this because the advent of the internet has made this a much easier and much lower risk undertaking than it previously would have been.
The Foreign Office have said that hundreds of MPs, civil servants, and other public figures have been hacked by the Russian security service, and their private conversations are among some of those compromised. Well, the Russian Federal Security Service, the FSB, is accused of having orchestrated a massive hacking campaign since 2015, targeting personal email accounts and stealing private information. Well, joining me now is former MI6 agent and senior advisor at the International Institute for Strategic Studies, Nigel Inkster. Nigel, hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Just brief us on who this organisation are. Who are the Russian Federal Security Service?
They're essentially what used to be the internal part of the Soviet KGB. When the Soviet Union broke up and the Russian Federation was formed, the first chief directorate of the KGB, which was the external service, became a new service, the SVR, and the FSB was the internal service with all the internal security functions that had previously been part of KGB Directorate 2.
Right. So they were sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but although they are, formally speaking, an internal service, they also have primary responsibility for collection of intelligence within former Soviet republics. So it was the FSB, for example, that was primarily responsible for collecting intelligence in Ukraine prior to the invasion, and which explains a lot about why it went wrong. But it also seems that they're engaged in external activities of the kind that you've just been talking about.
Okay, talk to us about that then. How will they have orchestrated this particular hack?
Well, it won't be too difficult. We're talking about emails and communications that are probably not that highly classified, so not as well protected as the most sensitive communications. So straightforward hacking using very familiar techniques, phishing emails, that kind of thing. It wouldn't be that difficult for them to do, but clearly they've been doing it on a very focused and orchestrated scale for a long time.
Yeah, and a long time being the key point there, Nigel. This, as we understand it, is part of what the Foreign Office described as a sustained effort to interfere in UK politics and democracy. Yeah. I mean, we had the Russia report a few years ago, didn't we, that shed a bit of light onto that. Just how present are Russia in our system?
Well, it's very difficult to say for certain. We have a lot of foreign actors trying to collect intelligence on the UK. There's a kind of top tier of actors, which are China, Russia, Iran, and to a much lesser extent, North Korea. But there will be other lesser powers as well that are now trying to do this because the advent of the internet has made this a much easier and much lower risk undertaking than it previously would have been.
Okay. I think I'm right saying, Nigel, you may have suggested that this was something of a distraction from other political events today. Some people in your community saying, actually, this isn't that big a news. We've known about this for a while. Why announce it today of all days? Is there something in that, or are we being cynical?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the fact is that this is obviously something that the intelligence community has been working on for a long time now, and they will be working to put the evidence together to put a case that is very solid and difficult to deny, and that takes time. So the timing of the announcement, I really don't know. Maybe there is something in this, but these things, in my experience, tend to have their own momentum and their own dynamics.